Okay, so 2, 4, 6. Episode number 7. Oh, yeah, here we are. Again, episode number 7 of Before the Punchline Comedy Podcast. Welcome everyone who's listening to this right now. My name is Kirill. I'm your host. My guest for tonight's episode is a pretty interesting guy with plenty of history. Basically, the only thing that you need to know about this guy is that his mom really wanted to get a bicycle as a present for her birthday 36 years ago, but she got him instead.
It's not 36. I'm 35. I hate you. You know what's so funny? I just noticed something. I've been on episode 1, I think episode 4.
Yeah.
And now episode 7.
Yeah.
So every 3 episodes, yeah?
Every 3 episodes,
wow.
Yeah. It's Abed Owaysi, if you haven't recognized this guy yet. Yeah, it's him. You know what? I think at this stage, at this point, I shouldn't even call you a guest. You're a co-host, basically.
It's so funny. Like 1, 4, 7. That's like, I don't know, Russian mathematics. I don't know.
Yeah, you know, like when we invite people to our house, to our homes, if we like the person, it's usually we need to invite 2 other people, and then this is the rotation.
I don't invite anyone, and if anybody gets invited, believe me, they're not a guest. They're there for a reason, either to fix my pipes or to fix their own pipes.
Well, you're here for a reason as well today, because we're recording this episode.
Yeah.
Today we're going to talk about something which is not only comedy related. I think it's related to every single hobby that you do, every single activity that you can do.
Yeah.
And I'll talk about a little bit in detail later about why I decided to choose this particular topic. But basically, we're going to talk about burning out in regards to comedy. Feeling burnt out, when you put your hands down, you don't want to do anything, you have no energy whatsoever, and so on and so forth. So I'll get to my story a little bit later because I want to go into details about this. Yeah. So let's ask you first.
Yes, my friend.
So have you ever felt burnt out in regards to comedy?
Every time, to be honest, every time after a show, I'm gonna be real honest with you. Every time, even when I step out from my place to go to do comedy, what's today? Today's what? Well, like yesterday, so the day when I had to go perform in Russian, like in a special venue, I got invited, and I was so excited. I stepped out from my place and I was like, I don't want to do this. Every day after a set, after I do well, after I do bad. But to be honest, every single time. Every single time. But the thing is that at one point you tell yourself, just go.
No, I think it reminds me more of some sort of anxiety.
But the thing with comedy is that you have to get up to go. Like, here's why I think some of the burnt out thing that a person might feel is you got up, you have to go let's say an hour ride somewhere to a place you don't know where. To go see people you don't even care about. You don't even know them.
And they don't know you. They don't care about you.
Exactly. And you have to make them laugh to check out that, yes, now everything is fine with me. And I think at one point that's like all those ideas come in your head is like, why are you doing this?
Oh yeah, man. I have this every single I think winter and autumn, because we usually have shows closer to the late evening, 8 p.m., 9 p.m. And autumn in Russia, it gets really dark really fast. Yeah, so it's like 5 p.m. It's already it's 12 a.m. Yeah, it's already like.
Would you
midnight.
call it darker than Dostoevsky or Tolstoy? Which one of them was the more depressive?
The more depressing. Tolstoy was just a dipshit. I'll think Dostoevsky is darker.
Surprisingly, that's I think that's you're the 4th person who tells me the same phrase. Tolstoy was just a dipshit.
Yeah, he was. Because if you check his autobiography, he treated a lot of people like trash, specifically women. For some reason, he didn't like women. I mean, he was a supporter of that lifestyle, which I don't know how it's called in English. In Russian, it's called domostroy, which is basically a woman should always be in the kitchen. She should keep her mouth shut all the time, and that's that.
Okay.
Yeah, and
what's wrong with that? No, I'm joking.
Says an Arab, right?
I'm joking.
And he basically, in his books, when you're reading his books, whether it's War and Peace, whether it's Anna Karenina, yeah, especially Anna Karenina, there he just treats the main character like the biggest bitch in the world.
But he named the book after a woman. Wow, what's the best?
Only to mix her with shit.
Like, then what's her face? That woman, the woman who got like a billionaire because of the kid with the magic wand. I don't mean that in a dirty way. What's his name? Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, yeah.
If she named it Hermione Granger, Hermione Granger would people...
Yeah, Joanne Rowling. Yeah, Joan Rowling.
I don't know.
Joanne Rowling, yeah. So sorry for all the Brits there. Yeah.
This is so funny. What if the book was named Hermione Granger? I don't know. I can't pronounce her name properly. Hermione Granger.
The funny thing is that you can see how people go crazy. Even she went crazy. Although I think it's just because of the publishment of the contract that she had. Yeah, when she took part in producing and writing this theatrical play. Yeah. That's like the continuation of Harry Potter about his child. Yeah, and so on and so forth.
Oh, there is a continuation?
Yeah, there is a continuation. And my wife, she's one of the biggest Harry Potter fans. That's like one of her favorite books of all times. Yeah. And she's such a nerd. She read this new theatrical play because they actually printed the book as well. Yeah. And she was like, that is the biggest piece of shit literature I've ever read in my life, for a couple of reasons. First of all, in Joanne Rowling, the author, yeah, she made Hermione a black woman.
Okay.
And
so she was not? I don't get it.
She wasn't. No.
According to the documentaries that I watched.
The problem was, it would be okay. Nothing wrong with like black people, playing different roles. Yeah. But in every single book, there would be a passage where somebody would pay Hermione as a character a compliment, yeah, and they would make emphasis that she has pretty red hair and that her skin is very white and so on and so forth. Okay. She was a white ginger girl in the book. But when this book came out and the theatrical play came out, yeah, all of a sudden she's black now. And
okay.
Yeah, that's what pissed off a lot of fans, not because it was a black character, but because it's like, you are basically joining that politically correct movement right now, yeah? For no reason, changing a character who's always been white ginger.
Wait. Sorry.
Yeah.
So but she didn't have anything to do with the theatrical play.
She did. She wrote the script. Yeah, she wrote the script for that.
That's so funny. Oh man, I would like to see an Arab Frodo.
Oh, that would have been
that would be, to be honest, there would be no difference. Hairy, you know.
He wouldn't destroy
medium
the ring.
Penis,
he would sell it probably.
Wow, what would it be called? The Lord of the Burqa. No,
the Lord of the carpets.
Lord of oil.
The Lord of oil, yeah. And you have to go to Mordor, aka Saudi Arabia, yeah.
I wasn't the one who said anything. It's the host of this podcast.
Yeah, sure. By the way, since we're on topic here, you heard that Johnny Depp was he basically quit that movie based on Harry Potter franchise.
Yeah, the Grindelwald thing. Yeah.
He quit it. Basically, they pushed him out of this movie, and all the fans were like, "Oh shit, justice for Johnny Depp," because really, it's not his fault. But then they were like, "So we found a new actor," and everyone was like, "Oh, who the fuck is this son of a bitch?" And they're like, "It's Matt Mikkelsen," and everyone's like, "You know what? We're actually cool with that." Yeah.
Well, it's what do you call it? It's the Twitter warriors or whatever the hell they're called. But going back to our subject, the thing with this, like I told you, like you go out from your house, you're thinking, now I'm gonna like it. Those thoughts come in like while you're rehearsing your set. You're like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Okay, I'm gonna say this. If they don't laugh, I'm gonna do this. Like you have everything. And at one point, you go, like you're on your way. And if your brain if your brain is left alone with nothing, no thoughts, that's when it hits you. And like, what if they don't laugh? What if what if one comedian ruins it for me? What if I ruin it for other comedians? What if today I'm gonna talk about cultural penises. Cultural penises. What the hell is that? I don't know. Penis with glasses. Never mind.
Whose dick is bigger? I mean, whose politics is better?
Yeah. Like you're gonna talk about Tinder or whatever, and go perform it in front of audience who are basically like in a what do you call it? A home for the elderly, which actually once happened to me. Not a home for elderly. So I got invited to perform in Russian. The guy told me 10 minutes. I want the 10 minutes that I saw you perform. I was like, great, awesome. Like, I know these 10 minutes are good for Russian, specifically for Russian audience. And I go there and I talk about airplanes and my name and my usual set. And I go there and it's a theater, nice theater, like 40 people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the youngest. I swear to God, the youngest was Stalin's second woman, second man. Like they were so old.
Yeah, oh my God.
I was like, oh my God. And the host, nothing. The host tries his best, nothing. Second person, nothing. Like, and the comedians were really funny. I know them. I saw them perform in Russian. I performed them. And I go on stage and I go airplanes and falling and, at the airport. And they go just look at me and like, what are airplanes again?
I was born in the 19th century. There was no such thing as airplanes back then.
I was like, oh my God, man. What am I going to do with this?
Oh, yeah, I know that feel.
Yeah,
I actually got, sort of, because since we're on topic here, I did Russian stand-up a couple of times. And one of those times was a year and a half ago. I went to St. Petersburg. And I signed up for the show there. I was like, why not? Yeah. And that was a bar, the second floor of a bar. And I go there and I had in my material, I would start my set with a joke about suicide. Uh-huh. And I was like, okay, this is going to be good. I go up there and I see like 25 people and the youngest person there is like 40 years old. I'm like, oh my God, I'm fucked right now. And the funny thing is that once I hit the stage and I cracked the first joke about suicide, the older guys were laughing their asses off. Yeah. I'm like, those people are the dirtiest, the darkest in the humor sense. Yeah, you will ever see.
So after you perform like that, and the funny thing about that is that the performers, the comedians, we were sitting in the front row. We didn't see the audience. All we did is we heard people talk, and the talk was more so, oh, there are people. We're like, awesome, there are people. And we just go on stage, and you can see each time one of us goes on stage, goes, what the fuck? These people need hearing aid to hear me. I was like, wow, man. So like, and again, after a bad set, you have to go back like to the same route to go back home, with that thought that how you failed, it could have been better, that what ifs.
Yeah. I could have, should have.
It could have, should have. It was his fault. It was my fault. It was the audience. So when all these thoughts like gather on you for like continuously, that's for me. For example, that's when I feel like. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. It happened. I'll tell you. 2 weeks ago, I was doing the Spanish open mic, and me, I don't speak Spanish. I just tell my friend to translate, and I go there and I do some bullshit. And my friend, she's really busy, and I didn't want to disturb her. And I remember I was at my doorstep. I was like, why am I going? I was like, why am I going? I don't want to go. I'm going to fail miserably, And I went back in. Thank God, like the apartment where I live in is a bit big. So for me, walking back in to go take off my shoes, other part of my brain went, fuck off and get the fuck out of the place. And so I was like, okay, no, I need to go out. So I went there. I failed miserably, but it was fine. So that's the thing that I think everybody feels burnt out
At some point.
but I learned. So if I would recommend something to someone, is talk to someone about it. It's really, for me, there was nobody except like this was when I first started doing comedy, was my friend Yegor. But we weren't talking about performing. About being burnt out. We were talking about writing. So he was helping me writing. We were trying to write more. We were trying to write better. So the idea is just if you're feeling left out, then talk about, if you're going to continue comedy but you're feeling left out, talk about comedy, talk about writing with someone, and the spark will come back. That's in my opinion.
Have you ever had extended periods of time when you would have this feeling that, oh, I don't want to do this, or why am I doing this? Not just for one simple evening, but for like long periods
I'm
of
telling
time.
you, every evening. I'm going to go perform in Spanish, and I know once I finish on my route from the stand-up, the club, to my home, I'd be like, why am I doing this? But there was times when for a month I would get on stage, but I wouldn't feel energy. I wouldn't feel me. You can even see that what's wrong with you. You're like, so my mother told me that she wanted a bicycle, or something like that, But the thing is that you have to push yourself. You don't have to. You don't force it on yourself. You have to get on But what I think is, when you think you need a rest, take a rest. I remember when Arun, who was on your podcast last episode,
Time,
when he said that he wanted to quit comedy, so we were sitting and he was like, he's gonna quit. This was like so long ago, and I told him, here's what's gonna happen to you. You're gonna be in a meeting. Everybody's gonna be talking. And suddenly you're going to go by yourself. And you're going to go, that would be funny on stage.
True.
It's sorry to say this. You're not special.
No, of course. No.
Yeah,
It is very, I think, not stupid, but very pointless to talk about, oh, how burnt out I am, when you consider this, that we do stand up, if we're not talking about you, because you do it much more often than most of us do, yeah? Like 3 times, yeah? I try to do it like 4 times a week.
Yeah.
And then you think about the guys, the comedians.
One second. Imagine someone right now logging on the podcast and go, I do it 3 times, no, 4 times a week. And the guy is like, what? I do it. She lets me do it once.
Exactly.
Sorry.
But compared to the comedians from the States, for example, yeah, those guys are freaking monsters. They do it like 10, 15 times a week.
Also the guys who perform in Russian.
Who perform in Russian, yeah, like Vasya Medvedev, for example. Sasha Malo, yeah, they do it like every evening, like 3 shows, for example, and so on and so forth. So yeah, talking about being burned out, doing that only 4 times a week, that's of course.
But here's the thing. Yeah, I get it. I understand. But here's the thing. A person is not special. At the same, they are. So if you want to do comedy, and you feel yourself burnt out, like you said, what I think is best is to talk to someone about it. Like say, oh man, I feel burnt out. Just listen to them. Don't talk. Just say it. Let them open their mouth. So you never know when something useful might come out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, just the thing with you see, being burnt out is like, you don't want to do it again. But what I would say, okay, don't, but continue. Like, for example, writing.
Yeah.
Continue thinking comedy wise.
Yeah, true.
You get what I'm saying? Like when I went back to Jordan, like about, I think it was a year ago,
A year and a half. Probably.
Year and a half, yeah. For a month, I did there like once in Arabic, like, and we set it up and so on. But we didn't at all. But what I did is that every day I would be thinking in a comedy wise. Like when I sit with my friend, I would try to be like not try to be funny, just comment, be myself, be the person who's on stage, be it this, and it would give ideas. It was just, and it's fun, you know. For me, for example, it's just that you don't stop. Like so, you're writing, you feel burnt out from writing, okay, like books or whatever. You stop. In my opinion, it's like, okay, stop writing. Like stop writing, for example, for like the book that you're writing, an autobiography, whatever. But write something else. Continue. You know, you get what I'm saying.
Make your brain work in that way, in that direction.
Yes. Yeah. Or find something else to expand your horizons, to open like your mind more. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. One other thing I wanted to ask you. I know that you basically sometimes, not sometimes, pretty often you get like obsessed with like writing and stuff. Yeah. And you write you're trying to write jokes even when you have this feeling of being burnt out, depressed, and stuff like that. How does that affect your writing?
So there are two things that might affect it. One, the distractions, YouTube,
Pornhub.
No more Pornhub. No more Pornhub.
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell the other website.
Let's do like a disclaimer. We're saying YouTube, we mean Pornhub.
Instagram, but Instagram right
What's
now.
the difference?
Well, here's the difference between Instagram and Pornhub. If you get caught watching Pornhub, your ass is whooped. If you get caught watching Instagram, they're like, oh, look at those nice pictures. See the difference?
Okay, yeah.
You know, much more. You're like, oh, I'm just scrolling through the difference. You can't say, oh, I'm just scrolling through the porn movies.
Honey, I'm trying to find a movie to watch together with you this evening.
That would be nice to say, oh, honey, I'm just trying to watch the girl we're going to both watch on Instagram. But yeah, so like you have many distractions with this feeling that you don't want to write, because it affected me in my writing. So for the past like year and a half, I made a good 50 minutes, and I stuck with those 50 minutes for a really long time, and I shouldn't, you know. And for the past year, I think we talked about it before, I wrote 15 minutes, like good 15 minutes, you know, like not even good, like killer 15 minutes. And that's minus. I should be writing 30 minutes, you know. So what happened is that, like, you sit there, I sit there in front of an empty screen, and I just write words. Just words.
Everything that comes to your head.
Yeah, like those improv exercises. They help me a lot, you know, like the association game where you write, for example, cup, water, oxygen, and so on. You make association. So I keep on writing until something sparks an idea in my head. But that doesn't work. That really, like when I'm feeling burnt out, that totally doesn't work. What works with me more is I talk to people. As you saw, like right now we're doing this Pornhub Instagram. Is just, oh, that's a great idea to try on stage. In my head. So the idea is you want to write, and you're feeling burnt out. If you can, you can. If you can, the thing is, especially comedy, it's all about experience. Like stand-up, it's all about experience. You have to fail so much to be better.
True.
In writing, in my opinion, you have to experience so much. So this is why I like when after a show, I like when you and me we walk and we're just, you know, shooting the shit. We're just, you know, giving out ideas, and we come up with premises instantly.
Yeah.
So when I feel burnt out, when I feel that I don't want to do this anymore, I look at my old
notes.
Notes. Yeah, exactly. Old notes. And I see, I was like, holy hell, what was I thinking here?
How was my brain functioning at that moment?
It wasn't even functioning at that time. What the hell? That's like my small brain that was the one that was functioning. But then, so I read it, And I was like, oh, this might be actually good. It's you try to reignite the spark.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, you have to push it. And what's best for me is I like to talk to people. As I like especially performers, especially comedians. I like to watch comedians perform. Like there was a guy, man, he had such a great. So he was like, I don't want to ruin this for him, but anyway, so he was like, clap if so clap if your friend is being funny and you didn't have sex with him, and you don't and you still didn't have sex with him.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody. So it was obviously that it was going for girls, and the only one who clapped was me. It's like, oh, I have like male friends. I was like, oh, I have a male friend I don't want to have sex with. And that's why I go there. It just gives us ideas. You watch something new. That's what's in my opinion. That if you feel burnt out, just go out, especially in comedy. Go out and watch other acts.
Yeah.
Watch other performers. I don't like to say watch on YouTube, like or watch, like, for example, famous comedians.
We know how that might end.
Because no, it's not that how might end. They've been working on that material for 1 year.
Yeah. They record specials only after touring with this for a year, maybe even more. Some of them do that even more before.
So that when you watch that, you're like, but when you go and you watch someone fail, like an open mic, it's so amazing to just watch an open mic. I don't care what anybody says. I love watching open mics, because you never know what you might see. Especially like from good performers, from good comedians.
Oh, yeah.
Who that are good, like, oh, this is great. And suddenly you're like, holy hell, that should be me.
Yeah. I caught myself on that idea last week because we had an open mic. You were not there, yeah? You were self-isolating.
I was self-isolating, man.
COVID freeze, this man.
That's so funny.
And we had plenty of new people on stage, yeah? And there was one girl, and she kept talking about how she's before she went on stage, how she's scared, how she's nervous, and of course for that reason she dressed up as a sexy Santa helper, because, well, what else can help you be more relaxed on stage, right?
When I'm dressed as a sexy Santa helper, it also makes me relaxed. I know what she's saying.
And so she went on stage, and the first minute of her set, I totally lost any interest. And when I texted you about that, and you then replied to me, but all of us were like this. I was like, fuck, that is not nice. But just, maybe that tells me how much the constant work on your material prevails, because when she went on stage and she was like, so comedy stand-up is like anal sex, and in my head I was like, okay, let me finish it for you. It's painful at the beginning, you get pleasure afterwards. And that's exactly what she said. And then she was like, I'm pretty bad at comedy. And the next thing that she said, I'm pretty bad at comedy. I'm like, let me finish it for you. You suck. And she goes like, I suck. I'm like,
someone must write that about curry. Eating, Indian food, man. It's painful at the beginning. You cry at the beginning, you cry in the middle, and you cry, and it's painful, and you cry at the end.
Oh my god! I still remember, like, we went about a year and a half ago with plenty of friends. We went to this marketplace here where different cuisines are presented. And one of my friends, Apurva, she bought some meatballs from a Mexican place, and she was like, hey, give it a try, and I like spicy food,
Okay.
When I tried it, I was like, it wasn't spicy, it was painful.
Kirill no like spicy food.
Yeah, Kirill no like spicy food, yes. That sounded Spanish, actually. Mexican Spanish, yeah. And that wasn't spicy, that was painful. I mean, I had a full glass of beer I chugged
But
it
you
down
don't.
like
You
in a
don't-
matter
you-
of. Yeah, I
you
know.
don't.
I should have
Milk.
got milk instead. Yeah. Or rice, for example. But that was painful.
Yeah,
That was very painful.
I want to I want to- yeah, like for this, it's so the whole idea, like for people, for newer acts. I'm so interested in just watching them. You never know, like someone who's doing already made jokes. That's when see, that's you see how you evolve.
Yeah, of course.
You know?
Because you're thinking like, fuck, was I really telling this at the beginning?
Exactly. Was I talking about this? Well, I still am, but was I there? And you see how you evolve, and then it brings to your head. You're like, oh, I'm better. And it's the spark comes back.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
I had that I think about a month ago when one of the other topics, which is annoying as fuck, is when comedians compare comedy to therapy. Like every third person is like, comedy is like therapy, and I got so fed up with this. We talked about this. I was like, you know what? I want to make fun of this statement, and I wrote a joke which basically is reverse. It's when I was like, it's not even close to therapy. And I actually like that joke. But it's just one of those things. And I get when people who start doing comedy do something like this, in their minds, it's like, oh my god, it's the most brilliant idea that anyone has ever come up with. But it's like, we have so many people living on this earth, God knows how many millions of them are trying to do comedy or doing comedy, Do you seriously believe that nobody has ever drawn a comparison between comedy and therapy?
Don't forget the memes now, because now we're also competing with memes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
But but the thing is that's it. Like, so when do you feel burnt out, let's say? What would make you feel burnt out?
Oh, that's actually the story that I wanted to talk about. So I'll explain it in detail.
Okay.
Because so here's the thing, guys. The main reason why I actually decided to talk to you about like this topic, being burnt out in comedy, is because for the last 2.5 weeks, I caught myself on this feeling, that I'm feeling burnt out, and it's not because. Here's the thing, it's not because of the quantity of the shows that I'm doing, it's different. So to give you some background, I'm married. I have a little daughter.
Which she says every fucking time.
Yeah. She is 3.5 months old right now. And if you have kids, then you know.
Yes, Kirill's kid every day grows a month and a half.
Oh my God! Yes, exactly. So if you have kids, you know that the first month is very easy. The only thing they do is sleep and eat
I
and
don't.
sleep. I'm looking at the monitor right now. Talking to them, to the audio program that I'm using to record this right now.
So guys, support him.
So the older the baby grows, the more energetic I think the baby becomes. And for example, if 2 months ago my daughter would sleep for like 2.5, 3 hours, then would wake up for 30 minutes and then again go to sleep. Right now, it's like 40 minutes. She sleeps for 40 minutes, then she's awake for another 40 minutes, and so on and so forth.
Oh, she plays football.
She's trying to. She's trying to, yeah. Well, I mean, whenever I'm changing diapers for her, she kicks me in the nuts so hard sometimes.
What? How do you change her? How long are her feet?
Because the table where I put her to change the diapers, basically she's lying. Her legs are at the level of my
tomatoes.
Tomatoes. And whenever I'm changing diapers for her, she's like kicking and stuff like that, and she kicks me in the nuts all the time. I'm
Has she ever pissed on you?
Actually, no. Well, Actually, yeah, a couple
How
of
many
times.
people right now hate you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Couple of times after we would wash her, and I would like carry her in a towel, and she would piss back then. Yeah.
Nice.
But when she's lying on the table and she's pissing, it's not like
Yeah, I
a
get it,
stream
I
in your
get it.
face because she's not a boy. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, thank you for that information, doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so dealing with that, because I just can't give her to my wife. I'm like, oh, take care of her. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, of course. My wife also works and she needs to relax as well.
Do you guys feel like this is an apology to his wife?
Yeah, probably. I mean, she's in the next room probably hearing all this. Yeah. I love you, Han. And so,
doesn't.
yeah. And it's the process of putting a baby to sleep is it's freaking hard, especially when the baby just sometimes doesn't when the baby wants to go to sleep but she can't, and you need to do something. I have a fit ball, so when she can't go to sleep, I just take her in my hands, and hold her in my hands, and I jump on this fit ball, and it puts her to sleep, basically. Then I have a rocking chair, which is the best freaking investment of this year. It's in the next room. And when she actually, like, she's feeling dizzy, she's about to go to sleep, I sit on that chair, or my wife, whoever's putting the baby to sleep. We're basically rocking with her there for an hour while she's sleeping. And that takes a lot of energy out of you. Then, of course, she wakes up at night like 2 or 3 times, And parallel to that...
You should rename this to complain.
Exactly. And
I'm sorry, man. I'm just being
I know, and parallel to that, you have work. I'm personally stressed because I'm not doing so well right now at work.
I'm sorry, it's complaining and I want to work.
Yeah.
Continue.
Then... can we deport this guy from the building?
It's just so funny.
I know.
It's so funny.
And then there is also just this going to the shows and stuff like that. And like I like comedy. I'm trying to be better. I'm going to every single show I possibly can. And then of course the thing that when somebody, or either my wife and I, if one of us leaves the house, the baby kind of feels it, and she starts like screaming, like, "Where is the other parent? Where is my other slave?" And when I come back, basically a lot of times I see my wife just sitting there, like almost half dead. From all the screaming that her eardrums have absorbed from the baby, and stuff like that. And all of this, especially the last month and 2 weeks ago, I was like, that was the roast when the guys announced that, we want to have a roast, roast battle. So who wants to participate? And I saw that, and for the first time, I was like, I don't want to do this. Like in my head, because every other time, whenever I get a chance, doesn't matter what it is. I will jump on this because even if I'm not good at something,
there was a really dirty joke. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna let them imagine it.
Before I'd be like, even if I'm not good at some sort of type of the show that we have, I'll still sign up for this because it's experience. How can you become better if you don't do the shows? But this time I was like, I don't want to do this because I just don't feel any energy. And to me, like, this is why I'm in a good way jealous of you, because you push yourself to sit down and write even when you have this. I can't do that if I'm not in the mood.
Well,
like I just can't bring myself to
but
to
you
write.
see, I'll give you an example for this. There are some comedians who just continue writing. I so want that. What I do, me, like I just write a sentence. Like how I thought I had COVID, for example. It's because of someone. And I just when I will go on stage with that idea and see where it goes and so on. And then I watch. The thing is, it's kind of a discipline. Like the thing with comedy, it's a discipline. You have to discipline yourself to do something. To do this thing. So if you feel burnt out, okay, you have the right to. Of course, you're a freaking human being, But if you want to continue with it, now here's where I go. So you want to continue with it, and like I love complaining. You know me. I fucking I want to complain about the microphone right here. That's too close to my mouth. Out for my mouth. Out for my mouth. That was too much. I love complaining, but the thing is, I do something about it. So that is it. Like, yeah, complain, do whatever you want, but at the same time, do something about it. Like right now, you were giving an awesome. Nobody takes this. An awesome in my head. This is an awesome idea that you're putting the bed to sleep. The bed to sleep.
The bed to sleep. It is very difficult to put a bed to sleep, especially because you sleep on it and it doesn't sleep on you. You see, the bed is jealous. That's like, what the fuck? You're using me to sleep all the time.
For example, for me, I would instantly go, I'm putting the baby to sleep. There has to be something here. There has to be an idea in this. And instantly I go, ha ha ha, I want to go on stage. So what happened with me is I trained myself to do that. Like for the past 5 years. This is why like have my friends Jordan, they hate this about me. I make a joke out of everything. And it's a really bad thing because when I'm in a what do you call it? In a really bad spot, I start smiling and laughing because I just thought of an idea how I can turn this into a joke.
Yeah.
It's really bad, to be honest. But at the same time, so the whole thing is you train yourself to do something. So I train myself to think about everything as a premise to a joke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I do get burnt out, yes, but at the same time, it increases my passion to get on stage. It makes me go, I have to push myself. At the same time, there are times when I go, I don't want to perform for a while. Like there was a show which we did, and I bombed horribly because all 70% of the audience knew everything I was gonna say. Because of my stupid way of writing. So they knew everything. The thing is that I was so depressed. I was like, why am I doing this? For the past year, I've only written 15 minutes. This is so bad. And instantly, I'm walking, I think it was with you, and I thought of a new idea. I was like, hell no, I'm not going to quit this. I'm going to try this shit tomorrow.
Right, yeah.
I'm going to go fail tomorrow. And the thing is, maybe because someone was telling me this, they were like, you're a masochist. Like, you have this masochism in you because... So what I told you, when I started doing comedy, I had my friend Diego, and I can take criticism because I have low self-esteem. But anyways, so after performing, I would tell him to destroy my set. No good job. I don't want your good jobs. I want your shit. And why? Like the most important part is why. Like for example, right now the English scene here in Moscow, let's say. Why I think it's progressing, but it could progress faster. Nobody is telling the other person, okay, you didn't do well. Why you didn't do well? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So they either say you did well, which is in my opinion, it's a bad thing to say, or they say, but they don't say why you did well. In my opinion, if you fix that, I don't want to talk about your set because it's your style, but let's talk about your stage presence. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, true. And it really becomes, sometimes it becomes annoying when you reach the self-realization, like, and you can analyze basically yourself. Yeah, when you record yourself, even when you're on stage, I think that you have this, I'm starting to have this more often. Because like a quick example, the family show that we had, like a themed show about family, jokes about family. I went there, I prepared 15 minutes. And which I knew work.
I've seen you kill with it. I've seen you kill with it.
And when the people came there, it turned out that I think 85% of the people who were there were regulars. I get on stage and I go on with my 15 minutes. It wasn't a good set, because I didn't get like constant big laughs, they were laughing at some jokes, at the jokes I've never actually said from the stage before. And in my head, I was like, I should have thought about this beforehand.
I'll tell you something. So that is one thing that there's a comedian in, I think, Iceland, if I'm not mistaken, or Finland, one of them. So anyway, they had shows once a week, and they had the same audience every week. So him and his fellow comedians, they decided that every week they're gonna they're gonna help each other to write new bits. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So one of the things that to overcome what happened, for example, on Saturday with you, because I know your joke, I know this 15 minutes, I've watched it kill. Like in front of me, like nobody's gonna tell me. And although at that on Saturday I was behind laughing because I was like, ha ha ha, enjoy the failure. Welcome to the dark side. I was so happy. You can't imagine how much I know I'm a dipshit. Was like, yes.
I was feeling you laughing. I wanted to throw a microphone at you.
Oh my God.
I was like, you know what? I wasn't looking at where you were sitting, but I was like, I know where this motherfucker is. I will hit the target right now if I throw this microphone.
Yeah, it's a really bad habit, but I like it because I've been there. And I will continue going there. So like being in that spot. But so what I think that you should be doing, I like it that like you record yourself, you write that set. You gotta say like write the set itself. That helped me so much with this. And each time, like right now, I have a set about how my girlfriend's trying to kill me. You know, and I got on stage, and that was my first line. Well, I got the audience, so that my line was, "My girlfriend's trying to kill me," you know. And I just started talking like how I met her and everything, and I did one really bad joke, and the audience were like, "Oh, that's that," like, and the bastards, they laughed, and they were like, "Oh, that's a bad joke." I'm like, "What the? You just laughed at this." I'm not gonna say it. You guys have to come and watch it. So what happened with this is first thing I did, I swear, after the set, I called her and I told her, listen, I did this joke about you trying to kill me. She was like, and what's new? I was like, okay, good. And I told her the joke and she laughed. And she said, watch your back. Okay. I was like, okay. But she didn't say it. It's her voice that said it. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, I went back home, put on the recording, and I wrote every bit of what I said. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I will still fuck it up, you know, but I wrote every bit. So when, like, what happened on Saturday when, like, the jokes. So if I were you, I would go back, I would look at it. I would look at the recording, look at my set, read it. And then you will find inside your set where there are angles you didn't see before.
True.
You get what I'm saying?
It's true. It's true.
So you get, like, at one point, for example, I was talking about how she's trying to kill me. And then suddenly I went through Tinder, like through the dating. And then I suddenly went through our dates where we went on our dates. And suddenly I found myself going on McDonald's and why I think McDonald's is an awesome restaurant. I know the word doesn't fit, but it is. Man, if someone brings you food on a tray, it's a fucking restaurant for me.
Yeah, probably.
I don't care. So yeah, like, see, it started kind of like branching out, and that only came out when I went back home and I read it. So for me, that's how I trained myself.
For me, it's sometimes a little bit different. I never know when an idea is going to hit me in the head. Yeah. And most of the time, so here's why I actually sometimes like when I have bad shows, bad sets. Yeah. On my way home, if I'm alone, I'm going through this and all of a sudden my brain starts producing all of these ideas. Yeah. You know, like I'm like, so I was shit today, but I need something new. And my brain was like, how about this? How about that?
You know what happens? So what happens is that your brain is working on maximum cylinders 30 minutes or 1 hour, 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when we finish, you see me, I'm like, oh, let's go. that's those 30 minutes. We're gonna shoot so many ideas. We're gonna talk about our sets, how bad, how good it went, what happened, and then suddenly, oh, this is a great idea. If you remember, like this is always.
Yeah. No, of course, yeah.
So that's something to overcome the feeling of being burnt out. And again, burnt out, just talk to someone instantly.
Yeah.
That's it, in my opinion. Everyone has their own. In my opinion, it's talk to someone, especially like a comedian, someone like you, at least like to hear their voice.
Yeah. But you never know what can drag you out. Sometimes it's not even a conversation. Like if we go back to that roast thing, when I saw message from the organizers, that hey guys, we're doing the roast. Who wants to participate? And I didn't want to participate. But a couple of days later, Dasha, a girl who does comedy,
she destroyed him.
So she texted me and she was like, "Hey, do you want to do the roast?" And I was like, "Fuck, I don't want to do the roast." And she was like, "But what if we don't do it like a normal roast? Standard roast. What if we do it like rap battle style?"
Oh, that was so good.
And something in my head clicked. I was like, my brain went like, you know what? This could be interesting. So immediately I forgot about that. Oh, I don't want to do that and stuff like that. And all of the shit. And I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And the process though was really hard. I caught myself several times and like, why have I agreed to this? But still, I was writing, and the night before the show, I came back from the Friday night show. I looked at my text and I was like, "This is shit. Most of it is shit." So I hysterically started sitting down, rewriting everything, and went to bed at 4 a.m. Woke up in like 4 hours or something like that. Worked the entire day after that, and went to the roast. Now, even though the guys, the comedians, even the audience, they were into that. People were like, "Oh, guys, that was the best roast of this show." I felt, but I lost, by the way. Yes, she destroyed me.
But they were very funny. You guys were very original, to be honest. I really loved it. I really loved it.
Yeah, thanks. And I wasn't. I was sour and a little bit depressed, and again this feeling of burned out dropped on me because in my head I was like, I could have been better if I would prepare better, if I would put more thought in it. I could have been better. Plus, in the middle of this, I forgot my text twice. For me, that was like, fuck, I just fucked up. And this is like something that you always focus on.
I'll tell you something about overcoming this. So this is why the comedians you see, the Russians, for example, well, a lot of them, I think that I'm most certain that everybody feels burnt out, but why they don't like you? Because you're performing, let's say, 4 times a week.
Yeah.
That kind of like pisses you off.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, I only have these 4 times. I need to make them like, and if I fail here, I have to repeat it next week, for example.
Yeah. Like I need to make the most of it. And so you always feel bad when
But here's the thing. So yeah, exactly. So that's why like it happens like, remember, you were. So 4 years ago when comedy was, starting here in English, there were only 2 shows.
Yeah, 2 shows.
So
one
if
on
you
Friday,
fail on a
Saturday.
Friday, you have to come back next week. If you fail on a Saturday, you have to come back next week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And just to make a quick note, Friday was still treated as the so-called special show. It wasn't an open mic. So if you just started, you would only have one show.
One show. So what happens is that so you have 2 sides for this. You want to be better, you have to be better.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And then now we come to the Russian thing. So why it helped me? Because I knew I have a joke about my girlfriend trying to kill me. It didn't try on Saturday. I'll try it on Sunday. I'll try it on Monday. I'll try it on Tuesday. You get what I'm saying? So in English here, I think it's a bit harder. Let's say a bit against you
Mhm.
if you don't perform in Russian because you have to, okay, I have to wait until next Wednesday
Oh yeah.
to do these 5 minutes to try this shit joke that doesn't work. But that's what happened. So what happened with me? Again, this is just about me. I always look at my set, and you know how obsessed I am.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with removing words, like reaching the punchline as fast as possible, and I'm obsessed with how can I make this funnier. And there's a game which I really like to play. It's called "Is This Funny?" Like I went to one of the Igor Monday, and I asked him like, which is funnier? Russia is the worst country for depressed people, or Russia is the best country for depressed people? And he's like, best country for depressed people. So I got on stage. This is the best country for depressed people. Laugh. And then again, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So play, is it funny? This is a very awesome game to play with comedians because not one comedian played this. Well, there are one or two who play it but they don't realize that they're playing it. I consider it as a game. You know what I'm saying? I consider it instantly as a game. I come to you. I was like, how can I make this funnier? Listen, man, is this funny?
Yeah.
And you tell me, and you start telling me, I was like, oh, okay. You get what I'm saying? So the idea is like to keep your brain as fresh as possible. Maybe like some people do it by exercising.
Yeah. There are.
This is why, for example, Sergio. For example, I really liked it. I think if I'm not mistaken, he exercises every day. That's very good for you. You know what I'm saying? Go out for a walk. For me, I talk to everything that moves. Well, to be honest, I also talk to my shisha. But yeah, the bubbles move, so yeah, I talk to it. Yesterday, I found myself talking to it. I swear, I'm not joking. I found myself talking to it. I was like, I was trying to make a comparison between my shisha and not my girlfriend. That would be too dirty.
Yeah,
I forgot.
blowing her baby.
Yeah, and comedy. Yes, and doing comedy, which is a really old bit I had, and I wrote it somewhere and I found it yesterday. So I was talking to it. It's like, how are you similar to stand up? I was actually talking to it, and my flatmate interested, and she's like, you're doing this again, and she left.
Funny thing, you're talking about this right now, and I remember the joke which I wrote and I still haven't used. And the funny thing is that I always remember about this joke from time to time, and I'm like, I should use it on the nearest show. That the bit that I have about Sean Bean.
Yeah,
like I always remember about this, and I never use it. I'm like, what the fuck?
You always talk about it. You always talk about it, and then you get on stage and you don't do it.
Yeah.
And here's another thing. So every time you said something which is great about the roast, when Dasha called you and she said, let's do a rap battle. What I try to do, each time I go on stage, I try to do something new.
Mm-hmm.
I try to like do something like new, at least in a bit. You know, like a new one-liner, a new opener, a new closer, a new way to close. Something I have to do something new so that I don't get burnt out or bored from it. You know?
Yeah.
And what's great is now, like the Spanish thing is now I make people translate for me because I don't speak fucking Spanish. My friend taught me yesterday. I forgot no se dende, which means I don't know where I am. I think. Yesterday she taught me that. I was like, I really want to know how you knew about this, but let me write it first.
Yeah.
You know. So now, like, I get a translator, and this is stage time for me. It's new stage time, so I have to do it. They laugh, they don't laugh, I don't care. They're talking, I'm recording, and I'm like writing in my head. I was like, oh, this is it. That's the whole thing. Is that when you have free time, use that free time. I envy people. Like, for example, for me, sometimes in the morning I have my free time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And man, it's so like, I was like, what the hell am I going to do? What the hell am I going to do? There's nothing for me to do. and like the Tuesday, like the days that I should be doing stand up, I don't have free time. If you have free time, use that free time. This is the most important thing I could say.
Yeah,
You know,
true.
one
Because
thing,
you don't want to waste your free time for
you,
nothing. I
You
mean.
can. That's the fun part in it. You can, but put 15, 30 minutes. 15 to 30 minutes. One comedian who used to perform, an awesome guy, Ashot Danilian, hats off, man. This guy, he used to do, I don't know from where he took it, but this was his way. He would sit in front of a PC 15 minutes, or like the notepad, whatever, 15 minutes or 20 minutes, I think. I wish if he would say what he used to do. It was like a really good thing. I took it from him. 15 to 20 minutes, and he would just write. 15 to 20 minutes. He wouldn't, not 14. He would just write. That's why each time he gets on stage, there's something he talks about. He talks about someone on the moon who farted, I think. And do they hear their farts or something like that? It's like awesome premises. It was very raw, but you can see like, oh, so you sit, so you have to, again, we go back to the main thing, the discipline of it. Just put for your day 15 or 30 minutes, whatever you want. That's it. For me, it's now I say this to you. For me, it's like, so it's the time when I sit with my shisha and I smoke.
Yeah.
That time is, it's funny because it's waste my time, and comedy time. You know? So here's what I do. I don't know if we're going over time. Sorry.
No. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just looking
so to make a shisha, this is a lesson for everybody. Consider it a free lesson. Download the fucking episode. So like when I get the tabak, I put the coals. I heat the coals. The coals, it takes 30 minutes to heat them. Okay.
Okay.
So in these 30 minutes, I start talking out loud. Literally, I start doing my set from the day before, whatever. I start talking out loud to myself, to whatever. Again, my flatmate enters. She's like, oh, again. And she leaves. You know, she's like, there's something, like, just don't kill me. Whatever voice right now is talking, just tell it not to kill us.
Your friend seems to be like a running gag, you know, for a sitcom. She's there only to enter your room and said, again, close it.
Literally, that's what she does. Literally, she enters, she looks at me. I even make a joke about her. Her name is Natasha. You guys should be fucking privileged to know her. She's one of the funniest people I've seen in my life. Like, really energetic person. But anyways, and whoa, crazy. So yeah, so 30 minutes, it takes the coals to heat for 30 minutes. So either I go to the toilet, I go out from the toilet, I know it takes me 30 minutes to do my business, I sit and surf, fuck off. And the coals are ready, and then I make that back. It takes me a whole process 30 minutes. In these 30 minutes, I talk out loud to myself, and I start, you can't imagine the stupid, dumb ideas that come out. The one day I found myself shouting to myself, why did I do this? Like, I shouldn't have shouted here. I should have said it normally. And I hear myself saying that. I was like, well, shit happens. And so you get what I'm saying. So,
Yeah.
And after those 30 minutes, after the coals are ready, I put them on the kalyan, the shisha, sorry, and I make it and I start smoking. When I start smoking, I put something like a YouTube thing.
On the background.
Yeah, on the background. Sometimes I put like last time, I put you and Arun when you guys were talking. I did that. So I put it. So I would you guys are talking, and then I would scroll a bit through Facebook, see what's new. So for 50 minutes, for that, let's say an hour and 10 minutes. That hour and 10 minutes, it's like my time to write or like to think of, let's say, new ideas, and at the same time disconnect from the world. So that's the thing is that why do we get burnt out? Because I think you should have a time when you have to disconnect from the world.
True. That's not only about comedy. It's
Yeah,
just,
true.
about life in
Everything.
general.
I like to ask people sometimes, because right now I kind of teach English. Imagine an Arab in Russia teaching English, and
Imagine a Russian in Russia teaching English. That's me, by the way.
So I like to ask you, how do you disconnect? How do you? Because I have mothers, businesswomen who I'm teaching, and you can see that it's taking a toll on them.
Mm-hmm.
When I talk to them, because I reach speaking, I have zero grammar, but I teach like speaking. How do you disconnect from the world?
Mm-hmm.
And almost everybody says, I don't. A few of them told me, this is my disconnect time with you.
I actually 100% can believe that, because I think sometimes that this is what my students also have. And to be honest, not like my job is tutoring. For now I'm just tutoring. That's how I make a living. And for me,
it's like you're begging for a job.
Please, I'm using this podcast. I need new students.
Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny.
And for me, these lessons are not only a source of income. That's also a way to like isolate myself in this bubble, because my students sometimes would go like, you're such a nerd when it comes to English, because I know some peculiarities, I will catch this, explain that. You're like, how do you know this much? And I'm like, and I'm asking myself, wrong question. Why do I know this much? Like, why do I have these little details in my head? That's because for me, it feels good to from time to time, to go into this zone and to self-isolate from everything else.
The thing is,
self-isolate.
Like, for example, I told you once we used to play cards online with my friends. Cards, not poker, cards.
Like I was specified, not poker. Poker is not cards. Fuck poker.
For us, we would disconnect from the whole world. The problems of the world are, at the moment, they're right behind us. Once we finish, then the problems start. So, for example, I remember when you were telling me you were burnt out. I remember this, and I was pissed off, to be honest, because I was like, fuck, who am I going to talk to after the show? But, find something that, like, I know that you love wrestling, and that's you and one of my friends in Jordan, I think it is amazing, and you guys are so interesting that you watch wrestling. I mean WWE wrestling, not the gay one.
Not that gay fucking thing that they have at the Olympics. No, that stuff is gay.
Not the ties, the one where the Undertaker retires for 3 years in a row.
Well, I think he officially retired, finally.
Blah, 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 blah.
But really, like, the guy is 56 years old. He's still taking these crazy bumps. That's just...
Yeah, well, but you see... You watch that, and that's so interesting for me. It's like, how the fuck do you watch this? Really, there's no point in it, but maybe it's your way of disconnecting.
Yeah, that really is, because so here's the thing, a little bit of a backstory. Yeah, I've been watching wrestling ever since I was 7. Because we didn't have wrestling on Russian TV up until 2001. There was like wrestling on STS and TNT, I think, but those were cut shows, those were not full shows.
You mean you were the WWE, WWF?
WCW,
you were watching them on Russian television.
Yeah, on Russian television.
I thought there was like I thought there was like a Russian wrestling. I was like, I'm gonna fucking watch that.
There is actually.
Like WWE, WWF?
There is a IWF, Independent Wrestling Federation, which is in Russia, in Moscow. They actually have shows. And I went to one of those shows about 3 years ago.
They are you know that it's fake, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking. But the script, everything, they're like, I hate your mother and you hate mine, or something like that.
It's something like that, but they're more PC, And here's the thing, like,
in Russia, it's more PC.
Yeah, in Russia, it's more PC. There is no like, what I like about this is that they in Russia, they watch the foul language, so they don't swear, but at the same time they have intergender matches where a man would wrestle a woman in a hardcore match. So the man was just. I saw a match, in Russian Wrestling Federation where a guy broke a keyboard over a woman's head. She started bleeding for real, but they do the blade jobs.
Yeah.
But she started bleeding, and I'm like, so you're okay with this, but you're not okay with people swearing for the promos for your shows, yeah? That was kind of.
Wait. I'm sorry, man. Like, put the burnout thing on the fucking side. This is much more interesting.
Yeah.
Why the fuck did you tell me before that there was fucking Russian?
You never asked.
Oh my god, man! That's like, fuck, man. That's so fucking funny. Wait. So they have inter what?
Intergender. When it's like basically a man is wrestling a woman.
Okay. Yeah. Is there any like a man wrestling a man who wants to be a woman? Anything like that?
No, nothing like that. No.
Okay, just checking. But so they have this, and it's scripted.
It's scripted, yeah.
Yeah, like they go, like one of them goes with a microphone and like, I hate women.
Yeah, the promos, they cut the promos on each other. Yeah, obviously the matches are also staged, but you never know how exactly the matches are staged. Yeah.
Okay, and then a man bashes a keyboard on a woman's head.
Yep.
Wow.
Not only the keyboard, man. I saw, I think 2 years ago, again, a recording of a Russian wrestling show. The guy used a staple gun on a woman's head, and they really did it like it was because they also it's staged, but it's real.
Yeah,
because
I get it.
The guy he put the staple gun on a woman's head, and he stapled her twice, and then the camera angle, was shown like this. You could see the staples in her head, like he really did that, and it's.
wait, oh my god, this is so funny, man! Like, what are the names of the wrestlers? Bear hug. I don't know.
Well, some of them are using their real names. Yeah, like
Ivan Ivanovich.
Yes, something like this. Yeah, but others have the ring names. Yeah, like there is a character who's called the Joker, Gringo, Angry Gringo. There is a guy called Locomotive.
Let me guess. Angry Gringo is from Siberia.
No, he's from Russia, but he looks like he's from Siberia. So there are plenty of characters. There is like there was a tag team. Yeah, their entire act was that they were like born and raised in the Soviet Union. So their ring names were Hammer and Sickle.
Okay, so if they were born in the Soviet Union, so how old should they be?
35, 40 years old.
Okay, is that too old for wrestling? Or
no, I think no. Wrestlers wrestlers have much longer longevity than like MMA fighters.
Their expiry period is.
No, I mean like if you go to WWE for example, there are like a lot of superstars who are like at the top of their careers 15 years ago, and they're still wrestling now. Like Undertaker just retired. The guy is 56. Edge just came back to wrestle again. He's 47. So. Sting retired when he was 57. So,
but wait, Sting is older than the Undertaker.
Sting is older, yeah. Sting right now is 60.
That guy moisturizes so well, man.
He looks fucking good. Man, I wish I looked like that when I'm 60. Like,
oh man, but yeah. So wait. So it's I think I get. And you never talked about this
in my comedy.
That's so funny. I'm sorry.
I had to. No, actually, I was thinking about writing jokes about that, but then I was like, people in Russia don't give a fuck about wrestling.
But so here's the thing. That's one of the things of being burnt out. That's in my opinion, that's the wrong thought.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about what people know. Fuck that. You get what I'm saying? Okay, you should like your punchline. People should understand, but at the same time, it should be funny for you.
Yeah,
like you don't aim to make everybody laugh. You aim to make about 3/4 of the room laugh.
Yeah,
there's no way for you to make
everyone. Yeah, everybody. You'll never please everyone. Yeah, that's true.
So that's the thing. That first, that's why I always tell you. What's the time?
It's 6:22.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have a lesson.
7. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's okay. Well,
it's okay.
We'll wrap up in about 10 minutes.
Okay, good. Like the idea that I will talk the audience. I will talk about what they want to hear. blah. First, oh, well, not first. Like, do you want to talk about? This is why a lot of the time I tell you, get on stage and tell me that.
No,
Like when we sit,
true because it distinguishes you from everyone else.
Not only
makes
that,
you individual.
I'm not talking about the distinguish. Yeah, it is 100%, but it is what you want to talk. Like when like there's a girl. I'm not gonna say her name. When I sit with her, she stopped doing comedy. I think she's now too busy. She was the most interesting person. Literally, very interesting, really smart, fucking genius, really funny. She gets on stage and she talks about boyfriends and whatever. I was like, why? Where's that one?
Mm-hmm.
Where's that the girl who I sit with and talks to me? This is the one that for me, of course, I'm not but that's what I want to talk about. That's what I want to see. Who do you want to see? Gary Goldman had a great tip, which was be the comedian that you want to see on stage.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like for example, if you like Bill Burr, and if you love Bill Burr, you want to be Bill Burr, then do his comedy, but put you in it. You know?
Yeah.
Be your own self in it. If you are not, then it will only be very inauthentic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing. At first, I remember I was on stage trying to please the crowd. I even did that mistake on Friday. I was talking about Russian language and all this. But it was like at the end of my set, and I was like, I tried this and I was trying to improvise on something new, and I did. And now I have like a new bit,
Mm-hmm.
which I will try to develop, which I pleased the crowd. But at the same time, before it, I did my set. I had 10 minutes. So the first 5 minutes, I did my thing. The later 5 minutes, I pleased the crowd. And the end, they all hated me. And I told them like 5 minutes in it, I was like, you're going to hate me in 5 minutes. And I just did one joke. It was my 5-year anniversary of doing comedy. Fuck off.
I deserved it. Yeah, I deserved to make people miserable.
Yeah. It's so fucking. But yeah, so the thing is that why did this happen? Why do you think that you don't have material? Like it happened to me, it happens to everybody. Why you see others who are they're not trying to please the audience,
because you're not only you're trying to follow the thing that you think the audience wants.
You're not following what you want. That's why you go and home, you're like, I have nothing to write about. This happened to me so many times. I go on stage, I get back home and I'm like, I don't know what like this guy talked about Tinder for 7 minutes and he destroyed, and I'm talking about this policeman stopping me and I failed so hard, you know?
Yeah.
But on the contrast of it, that's what he wants to talk about. That's what he feels like. For me, I was trying to please them by talking about the policeman who stopped me as an Arab.
You didn't necessarily like to talk about it.
Yes, you know what I'm saying. So you're like, but it's in front of you. The bit is in front of you, and you think it's well. But the thing is, that bit, it in the future, it will grow to a great bit, 100%. But that bit was for the audience. It was not for me. You know. So what I like to do is like, write about something you love. Talk about on stage. This is why I tell, get on stage and tell me there's Russian wrestling. I never knew. That's so funny. I'm going back home and I'm gonna watch. I want to see the makeup. I'm gonna go back to being a 7-year-old child, man.
I'll send you the link to the videos, man.
This is so awesome, man. How come? It's so great. But yeah, so that's the thing, that you see it in so many comedians. When I see there are 2 or 3 comedians, I see them get on stage, they bomb, but they talk about what they want to talk about, which is great, awesome,
true,
do whatever. So they will get burnt out eventually. You have to feel it. It's a rite of passage in everything.
That's why I think that, but sometimes it can get caught can play a trick with the comedian, because here's the thing, like
Yeah.
I'll try to express this idea
Express, my friend.
express I need to express. Now it sounds like I'm
So
masturbating.
sexy.
Yeah, so here's the thing. It's usually the thing that I noticed with the foreigners who are trying to do comedy in English in Moscow or in Russia in general. All of them, when they just get on stage for the first time, they always talk about the same thing. As foreigners, you know, funny Russian words with an accent.
Can I stop
Yeah.
you? Can I just sorry for being the shit. Sorry, audience. Sorry, people. I have to. They have to. You see here,
Yeah.
you have to do that.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, but sometimes, and I saw that a couple of times. Yeah, it is. I remember a show where an open mic about several months ago, where we had 10 comedians and we had about 20 people in the audience. Yeah, we had three.
Just say full room. Let people
Full
come.
room. Okay. We had three new guys who were foreigners. Yeah?
Uh-huh.
And all of them came on stage, and they basically, the jokes were practically the same. You know, like we're saying this with a funny accent, and so on and so forth. Now, the first guy, the people laughed at. The second guy was 50-50. By the time the third guy got on stage and fed the same things, the same jokes to them, they were like, we're kind of tired of listening to this.
Yeah, but
It can basically, you know, get
but we're talking about
bites on the ass.
But we're talking like I agree with you about them. But here's the thing: for me, for example, because you know I host and I have to listen most of the time.
Of course, yeah.
for everything that's being said. I am more interested. I get like when someone goes on stage, you kind of instantly know how experienced they are. You know, you kind of. I'm not going to say 100%. You kind of know how they react to people, how they go on stage, where they stand. I'm very interested in people themselves. But if we talk about being burnt out as a performer who has performed for quite some time, one thing, try every week to do something new. So if one day, like what I like about you now, you're doing this where you're sitting on a chair and you're talking to people, it's just fucking great. My friend Yegor, he once told me, do that set, but do it mellow. Do it like deadpan. And I can't do that, but I'm trying to. So that's actually an aim for me, to do a set where I'm just fully deadpan. The thing is, I don't know how to be a deadpan.
Yeah, I can't imagine you like doing
exactly
that. Because even the first phrase that comes out of your mouth, it's not even a phrase. Let's just say your energy is the first thing that bursts out of you. Yeah,
exactly.
Before the sentence bursts out.
Yes. The funny thing is, in Russian, I'm a little bit less hyper than in English.
True, but I think that there you're focused on pronouncing the words correctly. Partially.
More like, so in Russian, it's so funny. In Russian, I'm kind of focused on laugh you motherfuckers. That's
okay.
That's what's inside my head.
Okay.
You know, I was like, but it is like pronouncing the words, making sure that I say them properly, and laugh you bastards. Which is kind of like minus. I should work on it. But anyways, so like when you get, like each time you go on stage, something new, definitely. So you can do your set, the same set, a few times, but do it in different styles, different. Like one day do it sitting, next day do it standing. You gotta
true.
The second thing is that to not feel burnt out. There is one comedian. He's not even a comedian. There's one guy who's like said like, don't pander to the audience. Don't try to please them.
Yeah,
you're doing this for you, for whatever reason. You're doing this for you. So talk about something you want to. Again, I'll bring this back. This friend of mine, she's amazing. I'm telling you, the bitch is funny. You know, she gets on stage and she talks about something that's totally not her. And it's so obvious. And now she stopped doing it. And I know why, because she stopped talking about something she wants to. You know? Plus, like comedy, you have to keep on, practicing. But it's obvious that she's not working hard for it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And if you have someone to talk to, instantly, if you're feeling burnt out, you have to talk to someone. At least just, you don't even have to talk comedy. If you want to talk comedy. If you don't. So my idea is that if you were gonna complain, but complain to someone.
Yeah,
who would listen to you.
yeah.
And,
You need a receiver, so
yes,
to speak. Yeah.
and find this time of disconnection, something that disconnects you from the world, from everything. Like I know you have a child and a wife. I like this one time when we were texting. You were telling me like you're on a rocking chair. You're like letting your civil and you're watching wrestling.
Yeah.
And you can't imagine how loud I laughed. It was at 2 a.m. by the way. I was laughing so hard that your daughter's just like, I will kill them. I don't know, Jack the Snake or whatever it is. It was so funny.
You remember Jake the Snake?
Of course.
Jake the Snake Roberts. You still remember the guy?
I remember.
See, that is an old school wrestling fan, because Jake the Snake Roberts was one of the top wrestlers in the 90s.
I remember Shawn Michaels when he had a partner. And his name and
Marty Jannetty.
I don't know, and they were just like two kids who were running on the fly on the ring.
Rockers. Yeah, the Rockers.
Oh, yeah. I remember that, and that was like way back.
One thing that some wrestling fans can love you and others will hate you. What was it? You told me you hate Goldberg. Like you never liked.
No, on the contrary.
You like Goldberg?
Goldberg when he was in the I can't believe we're talking about wrestling. One of my friends is gonna love this. WEW. I was gonna say whatever. When he was there, I was like, he was Goldberg 50-0 or something.
Oh yeah, and, that was that.
And then it became very tedious. Like, it was like. I think I was really late in my age to know that it's fake.
Yeah, and I haven't finished the thing. We're gonna wrap up in a few minutes. But still want to finish the story. How I actually got into wrestling. Yeah, when I was
7 years old.
And back then we still didn't have any television. Yeah. And my uncle, he went to the States for a business trip, and he brought a whole bunch of tapes, with like movies, action movies, with guys like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, older Sylvester Stallone movies, if you know what I mean. Italian Stallion,
You just read my fucking mind.
Yeah. And he brought a bunch of tapes with wrestling shows. And that was the first wrestling shows that I watched. One of them was not WWE, not WCW. That was ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling, where they had burning tables, barbed wire wrapped around heads and stuff like that.
Oh, the one that you showed me.
Yeah. I, particularly in my memory, there is one moment, there was a tape recorded with an ECW show where there were two wrestlers, Raven and Sandman, I think, and they were having a match. And at the end of this match, Sandman, they wanted to get it edgy, to have edgy shows. So they had a cross, a huge wooden cross. They put this guy on this cross and they wrapped his hands, wrists, and his head with barbed wire to this cross. And that was the moment that I still remember. And back then I was like, wow, this is cool. And the blood is dripping this guy's face. And I'm like, wow, this is cool.
Okay, so...
And ever since then, I've been watching wrestling ever since then, like all types of wrestling. Japan, Mexico, American wrestling, still up to this day do. And now that I think about this, I need to write jokes about wrestling.
I can't believe that there's Russian wrestling.
There is. I'll send it to you.
It's so funny, to see the Russian Undertaker.
Well, there actually was a Russian version of the Undertaker. What was his name? Knyaz. I think his name was Knyaz. Yeah.
Which means what?
Lord? It's like it's like emperor or like the title that Ivan the Terrible had. What was his official title? I don't remember.
Terrible?
Tsar, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like a darker word to
darker
describe
Tsar.
Really? And he had this gimmick, so he would dress in all black, face paint, a little bit like there was even a Russian version of Sting. There was a guy who called himself Gladiator, and he would have he would have face paint on his face.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
What does he face paint? The word gladiator?
Yeah, no. It's just a face paint that was very similar to what Sting would put on.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that, you know what? This federation, Russian wrestling, first started in 2002.
Wow. Can I ask something? In the American wrestling, do you have it like on Russian TV and it's like, what do you call it? Is it like Russian, not subtitles?
Commentators.
Yeah, not commentators, voiceovers.
Voiceovers, only commentators, I think. Only commentators.
Oh, sad.
And the funny thing is,
That would be funny. So, like in porn movies, there's a voiceover for porn movies.
there is. Yeah.
Are you fucking serious?
And the funny thing is that at some point, Russian wrestling was actually pretty popular. That they put it on television. There was one sports channel where they gave a weekly slot to wrestling. And that's that. Now, of course, it's only online because TV is dying. And stuff like that.
Does it have like how many views does it have?
Not
millions
a lot.
or just
not a lot? No. It's a very local thing. But the funny thing is that some Russian wrestlers, they actually go to Japan. They wrestle in Japan. And they are pretty popular in Japan. So. The guys are getting a break.
Yeah, because if they wrestle here, they get their asses kicked. Yeah,
and they don't get. I don't believe they get paid. I don't believe they get paid even for doing all that shit. It's just pure enthusiasm.
It's so funny, man.
Yeah,
I can't believe you never talked about. Oh my god, I'm gonna disconnect my whole world.
Here is my burnout. Where my burnout ends, I believe. So we are wrapping. We're wrapping this up. Thanks, man, for doing this.
Man,
and to every single person who's going to listen to this episode, thank you guys for listening. And I hope that you will find the information that you got here very useful, because it's a very often topic.
Were we even talking about information? And by the way, here's what you should do. Put something on Facebook about this IFW. Like link the Sandman, the Sandman tomato, the guy who they Jesus. Yeah. Put that on your page. That would be funny. I want to watch that.
Sure. So yeah, hopefully that you will find it useful and interesting, because I think that this is relevant to every single person who gets into comedy more or less seriously. Yeah, you will have these moments at some point, and you need to know how to deal with these moments. So thanks for listening. And before we wrap up here, I think we should plug in the.
So when do we have? So on Wednesday we have our open mic at 7:30, not at 8. At 7:30, our open mic at Steal the Show Comedy. I can say that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Steal the Show Comedy. On Friday we have the, what do you call it? The stand-up comedy show, 6 to 7 comedians performing with their best material for your enjoyment. You guys can come. On Saturday, we have something called Audience Participation, which is a special audience participation show in which I will host, hopefully, and in which the audience will take part in let's say messing with the comedians. You know, we're gonna do something called it's called stand-up improv. We're gonna mix improv games and stand up together for your pleasure. And today, Monday, it's the Spanish open mic hosted by Sergio.
Someone's self-esteem is gonna get destroyed on Saturday, whether it's the audience member.
Yeah, Steal the Show Comedy.
And one more thing, one more show. It's gonna be in about 2 weeks, but it's yours to plug.
Can I just say something? So. This is just like for you. Thanks again for inviting me. Fucking A. So the 1st, the 4th, the 7th. I look forward for the 10th. And right, that's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I forgot how to count. So this is just for the audience, whoever's listening. If you would like to share the episode, share other episodes, watch them. Also. Comment.
Leave it. Yeah, we are available. This podcast is available on all the podcast platforms, like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean, Buzzsprout, of course, is the main source for that.
Buzzsprout or Buzzsprout?
Buzzsprout, okay. Vkontakte, and so on and so forth. You can find us anywhere. Please, guys, after listening to this. If you like this, leave a comment, rate the show. Even if you don't like it, fuck it. Leave a comment saying, fuck you, you're not funny, it's not interesting.
It's comedy. We strive on failing.
Exactly. And one more thing that wanted to plug, is December 13th.
On December 13th, we have a show at the stand-up store, Moscow stand-up store, like one of the biggest venues in Moscow, which will be in English, which we will have four comedians, myself, you, Kirill Voronin, and you, Kirill Voronin, and Arun Khurana from India, and Igor Monday from Croatia. We'll be performing there. It's a great venue. You can just go to stand-up store Moscow, and there you get the tickets and everything. Yeah.
So, that being said, thank you guys for listening. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode and with a new guest.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. See you guys. Take care.